That is innovation. That is starting scrappy, okay? Listen, friend, we can no longer hold on to Summer, okay? She's gone. She is... Okay, there's nothing we can do about it. The air is a little crisper, the days are getting shorter, and we can't hang out like we used to. Because it's cold outside, so I need to get in the house, you know? And whether you are ready or not, fall is ready and she's here. Especially because I live in like the true Northeast where we get winter, and I already know what's coming for us. Today, I have 6 cozy, healthy habits to implement. I know a lot of us get the fall scaries or the winter scaries, but this year we are transforming the fall into something that works for us, into something that transforms us into a better person. We are setting goals, we are reaching goals, we are breaking boundaries, we are doing whatever we need to do to become the best version of ourselves for the upcoming year, okay? And these habits that I'm gonna share with you today are not only gonna help fall feel like a nice, fresh start, but it's gonna give you a really good way to reflect about the end of the year. By the way, comment down below with your cozy habits as well, because I want to make this kind of like a community thing where we all come together and we usher in the fall as a unit, as a little family, and we can help each other out, because that's our goal here, right? So let's just jump right into it. So my first healthy habit for the fall is to treat the end of 2024 like a jumping off point for 2025 instead of waiting for 2025 to do the things that you want to do. Because a lot of us get caught up in using the new year to start working on our goals and start trying to be better versions of ourselves or do whatever we want to do. And that's always great. It's always great to see the new year as a fresh start, but in order to keep this season a little bit more intentional, I'm figuring why not start doing the things we want to do now instead of waiting for 2025. I just want you to know that your success and your goals are not bound by time. That is the point of that bullet point. So for habit number 2, we are going to be very intentional about setting our goals. And I want to talk about this in a specific way because I think a lot of people just tell you to plan your things or write your goals down or do what you want to do and then just kind of leave it there. Goals are not a set it and forget it thing. Goals are a very, very active part of your life. You have to do things to reach the points that you want to get to. I feel like I'm trying to lean into the sunlight a lot. Give me a second to go fix my light. And by light, I literally mean a mirror that I'm capturing the sun with to reflect it back onto me. That is innovation. That is starting scrappy, okay? And the sun moved too much for me to get my light back to exactly where it was, so it's gonna look a little like that, but it's fine. And I also knocked my camera over in the process of trying to get that all together, so the angle has changed. But here we are, back to number 2. So I think I left off by saying that goal setting is not a set it and forget it type of thing. So here is exactly how we're going to goal set, and we're going to do this with strategy. I went out to Michael's and I got a lovely little bullet journal, and I decided that from now on I'm going to be tracking my progress towards my goals. So I'm not just going to write things down. I'm going to write down what I want, I'm going to write down how I'm going to get it, and I'm going to write down a rough timeline for the steps that I'm going to take. I'm not making a timeline for the success of it. So I don't want to say, like for example, I've always been a small business owner. Ever since I was literally in like 5th grade, I've been starting little different businesses and doing little things like that. And entrepreneurship is just something that I really love. And in my last year of college, I decided to shut my small business down because it was just getting a lot to be a student and make sure I had to get everything done for my small business, and it was a little overwhelming. Something I've really wanted to do is get my small business back up and running. That is a goal of mine, and instead of just writing down in this journal, goal date, open small business back up, I'm going to have a timeline of when I'm going to start researching. I want to learn about XYZ by this, and that. I want to research pricing needs by this, and that date. And I want to know whatever else I need to know by this date. So we're going to break this down into more attainable things. But depending on your personal level of organization and the amount of different goals that you have, you will want to break down these things because it can seem like a really daunting task to get all of it done. But when you break it down, it's a lot more manageable. And you know, this is something that you probably heard so many times, but I don't think people think about it in the context of setting your goals as well. So habit number 3, we are not going to be shy anymore about doing the things that we love in terms of our cozy hobbies. Now let's talk about this for real, because for example, I love to play video games, okay? I love PS5 games, I love Nintendo Switch games, I love board games, I love games. I just like to play games because I think it's a really interesting way to like stimulate your brain. I am fortunate enough that the people in my life know exactly what I like to do, and they know exactly who I am, and they know exactly what I'm interested in. I'm also 23 years old, okay? How many times have you heard people be like, oh, video games? Why don't you go out and actually be a productive member of society instead of trying to play games? Or like, that's just a silly little thing that you're doing, and like, do something that's more serious. Like hello, back up. Your hobbies, whatever they are a huge part of what makes you you. The things that you are naturally inclined to gravitate towards, the things that you love to do, that's literally part of who you are. And we are not gonna let people sit here and try and drag us for liking the things that we like to do. And that includes random people on the internet. I know a lot of times we want to share the things that we love, and then somebody who you don't know that's in a state that you've never been to, and a person who you will literally never meet in your life tells you that it's a weird thing. And then sometimes you're like, oh, gotta hang it up. Ignoring the things that you love for the benefit of other people, or not doing the things that you love because somebody else told you that it's childish or it's just a hobby or you should find something else to do. We're not letting that get to us. We're doing the things that we want to do. And I know that this is easier said than done, so I can definitely make a separate video about like how to live life without judgment, or how I've learned to live life without fear of judgment. Because if there's one thing about me, I'm not scared of nothing. Okay, I'm not scared of nobody, no thing, no situation, nothing. I'm not scared of nothing. I'm more than happy to talk about how I got to this point in like a separate video if that's something that people wanted to see. So this next one isn't necessarily going to be a habit, because this can get out of hand very quickly, and I recognize that. This is more just going to be something that we're going to do every once in a while, like maybe do it once in maybe do it once in October, once in November, once in December. That type of thing. And on top of that, I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. Now, I'm not talking about splurging recklessly here. You and we're gonna treat ourselves to something that we've been wanting for a long time, okay? I'm talking about that thing that you've been eyeing, that meal that you wanted to cook for yourself, little things here and there like that. We're gonna treat ourselves. Whatever that may mean to you, whatever that thing may be to you, we're gonna make sure that we allow ourselves to have the little things that we want to have. Now for me, I've really been wanting to decorate my space, because we're sitting on my childhood twin bed right now, you and I. That's where we are. And when I graduated from college, I moved back home. Like, I know a lot of people move back home now, so that's like a normal thing. But in the school that I come from, not a lot of people really do. Everybody really pretty much moves out. And that's definitely a goal that I'm working towards. But I'm also very happy in my childhood twin bed, because life moves at a different pace for everybody. We all have different things that we're trying to do at different points and at different times, and that's okay. Now for me, I really want to upgrade my room. Like, I just went to Target a couple weeks ago and got this giant fluffy pillow that I love. And I'm thinking about upgrading to a size full bed. I'm thinking. So treat yourself to something that you've been wanting within reason. Be mindful of your money goals. And if saving is something that you're trying to do, like me, I have a master's degree to pay for next year. And also, a lot of us may be looking towards getting holiday gifts for our friends and family and our loved ones. So definitely keep all that in mind. Now, very quickly before we get into number 5, if any of this information has been helpful to you so far, I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, because we get down over here. We don't play. I like to work on building a lot of community here. I respond to every single one of my comments. And the goal of this channel is to help each other live a little bit more of a cozy life every single day. So if that's something that you'd like, then definitely hit that subscribe button. Okay, now on to number 5. If you don't already have an actual morning routine that is rooted in self-care, then what are you doing? Just kidding. We're gonna start making one for the end of the year. And I'm talking about a very intentional routine that sets the tone for your day, starts you off on a good note, and makes you feel like you have a really good foundation to go through the rest of your day with. Now, the key to this routine is to add in 1 or 2 things that's literally just for you. Something that I do not like to go without doing in the mornings is skincare. And I have like a multi-step skincare routine that is just part of something that makes me feel fulfilled in the mornings, because we do a lot of things that are for everybody else in our lives, or at least in some way benefit somebody else. My skincare routine in the future is only going to benefit me. Like, that's literally just for me and for my skin. Or when I make my matchas in the morning. I could make a matcha latte for somebody else, which would be fine. But when I make matcha, I literally just love to lock in and be in the process, and I like to just zone out while I make mine. So adding in those little steps of like, this is just for me. So the last cozy habit that I want to talk about, by the way, if you're still here, thank you for being here. Shout out to you. I want to talk about tapping into your creativity at your core. What are some things that you love to create? Do you like to bake? Do you like to do watercolor paintings? Do you like to journal? Are you a content creator? Now, you're gonna pick a couple of these creative outlets and really go all in this year. Like I said back in tip 2 or something, maybe it was 1. Yes, the first tip. There's no better time than now to be the person that you want to be. And one of the greatest ways to really tap into your peace and finding what you love is to develop or nurture a creative outlet. Since I'm an artist and a creative person at my core, I like to cook and bake. Of course, I love to create blender art. I like to do clay sculptures. I like to journal. There's so many things that I like to do. So we're gonna get really solid at some sort of creative outlet. Just be like so confident in your journey that everyone around you notices that you have a new passion. You know what I mean? Even though we're not necessarily doing this for other people, it's just going to come out of you. Like, it's going to just rain from you, that people know that you have this peace and this lightness coming from you because you've started doing something that you love. Okay, so I hope these cozy habits were helpful today, and I hope they inspired you to get ready for the fall. Just grab the bull by the horns and just shake it, you know what I mean? Because we are going into this fall with a bright, good, positive, peaceful, and cozy mindset. And I know this, for me, this is the first year that I've gone through a fall in literally my whole life without having to be a student, and it's very strange to like what's going on here? I don't have to go back to school. Are you sure? It's that type of thing for me. I'd love if you join this community. So again, I'm gonna remind you to comment down below with your cozy habits for this upcoming fall, or the fall that we're in this upcoming winter, and subscribe. And that's all I have to say today. Love you. Bye. Enjoy the end card.